And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We got a great show for you today. As always, we are live every single day at noon Eastern. If you want to watch live, head over to twitch.tv/Takes by Fans. If you want to watch but not live, head over to our YouTube channel, Takes by Fans. We post all of our shows and clips of the show there on a daily basis. And if you just want to listen, we are on podcasting apps, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. So, however you want to watch or listen, we've got you covered multiple ways. Alrighty, today's a big old Wednesday, folks, and man, oh man, the day has come. Us versus y'all, Game 2, Nets at the Celtics, Game 2, the scary team versus the frightening team. Yes, folks, it all tips off 7 o'clock, no 7:30. Usually we have to wait till like 7:30 during the week for the first playoff game. No, we're getting it right early, 7 o'clock, folks. TNT, ESPN, one of those two networks. But either way, folks, us versus y'all, Game 2, we're up. Us over here, Takes by Fans, we're up. And if you want to join the side, that's why we say we over here. If you agree with our takes, you are part of us. I know I'm not the only one thinking this stuff out there. I refuse to believe this. I may be the first one to initially think of it, but once I say it, I know y'all are agreeing. Y'all are bobbing the heads in the car, be like, yeah, the Cowboys won't be good this season, and the 49ers will be starting Jimmy Garoppolo this season. I know y'all are agreeing with me, so that's why we say the we. I get a little knocked for that, but, we still chug over here with the we. We are the we over here. But we are up 1-0 on y'all. Y'all with the Nets, not scary to us over here, and we got the win because of Jason Tatum, superstar. Jason Tatum spinning off of Kyrie Irving, folks. Spinning off of him for the game winner. Your scary player, Kyrie Irving, got spin cycled by Jason Tatum, terrifying superstar, to win the game. Game 1. So if y'all are scared of that, Kyrie Irving's great performance that ends in a loss, well, you should be terrified by Jason Tatum's spin cycle game-winning layup. Yes, folks? So it's a big game today, folks, and we want all the smoke, okay? We're about to be, we about to be up 2-0 on y'all. Yes, folks, so I cannot wait. I cannot wait for this game, and I think after the show, I'm just rewatching Game 1 until Game 2 starts. I don't know how many iterations I'll get to watch fully Game 1, but it doesn't matter. I just need to see Game 2 immediately. Damn. All right, so we're definitely going to preview that game, folks. We got to wait a little bit till we can truly preview that game and see what the spread is, see what the line is now, right? But we will talk about the playoff games today on the show. Got to break down the playoff games from last night, and we made one calculated error when making our bets last night, which was, hey, these are going to be competitive. For the most part, these are going to be competitive. These are 7-game series. Coaches are going to make adjustments. Players are going to make adjustments and all that, and we didn't really take that full into account yesterday when betting, so let's update that in our thinking so we have a little bit better of a betting day today. Yes? So let's keep this in mind. These series can be close. Yes? Just because, and another thing, like road team stealing Game 1, I mean, that just puts so much more pressure on the home team for Game 2 and all that. Another thing I think we undervalued yesterday. So we re-updated our thinking, and we're ready to hit 3 for 3 again today in the NBA. So breaking down the games from last night, betting on the games tonight, going over some NFL stories, and once again, there's some good ones, folks. Y'all are getting it done out there. I love it, folks. These stories the last few days, it's everything I've wanted. So once again, this offseason, folks, best offseason in the NFL in my recent memory, and it just keeps getting better because we're hearing from, who are we hearing from today? We're hearing from the Cowboys. We're hearing from Justin Fields, and this one is just so funny. We're hearing from the Cowboys, like I said. We're hearing from Kyler Murray again a little bit in the Panthers, folks. No, Jimmy Garoppolo's not going to the Panthers, folks. Okay, well, y'all stop that. All right, we're getting ahead of ourselves, but we got great stories to talk about in the NFL, and I think we may possibly be able to squeeze in Kenny Pickett today on the show, seeing if Kenny Pickett is better than Malik Willis. We are 8 days away from the draft. We got to get this settled, folks, so hopefully we can settle that today. So let's start the show here. We'll start in the NBA, transition to the NFL. So let's start talking about all the NBA playoff action from last night because it was very, very good again. Once again, golden era, folks. We're in Wednesday, a little bit of the halfway point. Thursday, we're going to kind of be over the hump a little bit. The golden era, I believe, could end on Sunday. It could go a lot longer depending on, 4 sweeps or 7-game, series, however long these first series go. But at minimum, it could be ending this weekend. So take advantage. Another full day, 3 games on all night of NBA playoff basketball. Take advantage. We are still in that golden stretch, folks. No sleeping early, no putting on a movie, no watching anything else. You can do that later. It is playoff basketball time, round 1. Lock in, folks. Yes? Thank you. All right, here we go. First game up, we got the Hawks at the Heat. And this was a great game. Hawks really were competitive all throughout. Heat weren't as dominant as they were in game 1. And this came down to maybe 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And that's where Jimmy Butler took over and absolutely blew open this game that was competitive all game long. But the Heat end up winning by 10, 115-105. They cover the spread, all that because Jimmy Butler decided to go absolutely manic. Jimmy Butler, 45 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, shooting 4 of 7 from the 3. How crazy is that? I don't think Jimmy Butler has attempted 7 threes in a game at all this season, and he woke up the sleeping giant because remember, in game 1, Trae Young and Jimmy Butler kind of bumped into each other a little bit, folks. It got a little heated. Trae Young wasn't backing down from Jimmy Butler, and Jimmy Butler was like, who the hell is this dude? Who is this guy trying to beef up on me? No. In my home stadium, when we're beating your ass game 1, you want to try and get body to body with me? Wrong move, kid. And Jimmy Butler took it a little personally because the man was absolutely phenomenal tonight. Not hesitating from that 3-point shot. And usually, that's a little bit of Jimmy Butler. He's not that 3-point shooter. He is a little hesitant on taking some, and I think he is conscious on how many threes he attempts in a game, on how many, he makes and misses. But the fact that he shot 7 threes last night and made 4 of them, I mean, when you're like betting, the Heat games and betting player props, Jimmy Butler for 3-pointers are always like over half a 3-pointer, and the odds are at like plus 100 because he doesn't take the threes. But he was aggressive last night, got kind of punked. He didn't get punked, but they were, chest to chest game 1. I don't think they had to be, they may have to be separated. But overall, it got a little, contacty. It got a little mouthy. Some things I'm sure were spoken, and Jimmy Butler took all that personally. It went manic and closed out this game. Absolutely wonderful. So, man shot 4 of 7 from the 3, 60% from the field on 25 shots. The man was just aggressive all game long, and the Heat were allowing that. That's what makes this Heat team so great because everybody's so unselfish here, folks. Jimmy Butler took 25 shots. The second leading shot taker was Tyler Hero coming off the bench, 11 shots. That's 6th man of the year. That's fine. It wasn't Kyle Lowry. It wasn't Bam Adebayo getting in Jimmy Butler's way. They're like, hey, Jimmy, you want to cook tonight? Yeah? All right. And they let the man cook. And what did it do? It won him the game because Jimmy Butler took over the final 3 minutes to win the game. It was close, folks. Final 3.5 minutes, Jimmy Butler takes over, and it didn't even, if you just look at the final score, optically, you would say, oh, this wasn't a close game. It was another kind of blowout. 10 points, we call that a blowout. We classify that as a blowout in the NBA, but this game was close. It was very well done by the Hawks to kind of be competitive game 2 after their non-competitive game 1. So the Hawks did everything in their power. to try and win this game. Just couldn't really kind of clutch it up. Jimmy Butler was the clutch guy last night for both these teams to win it for the Heat. But this is good. This is good heading into game 3. Hawks are at home for game 3. Gotta win that game 3. You gotta win the home games because you didn't steal one here. You gotta win the home games because you didn't steal one on the road. But this was good. Good confidence booster. Trae Young, a solid game overall. Trying to kind of once again win without Clint Capella. And they did very, very well, being competitive all game long. So this is a nice little silver lining for the Hawks heading into game 3, and we'll see once again what the line is, if we're getting points, how we play it, how we bet it. We'll stick around and wait until game number 3 to look at the line and what that is. We won't spoil it today. So Jimmy Butler had an absolutely fantastic game. Bam Adebayo was still not kind of being dominant, and I thought Bam Adebayo was going to have a big game too because he wasn't really doing anything in game 1, but Bam Adebayo, they don't even really need him out there. 9 points, 4 rebounds. They're not asking him. He only took 6 shots. They're not asking him to be aggressive. Maybe they're saving that for a little bit later in the playoffs. Bring out their secret weapon, Bam Adebayo, or maybe they're just waiting to do it a little bit later in the series, or maybe they're going to have Bam Adebayo kind of be that road piece. Let's have Bam Adebayo's secret weapon on our road games when there's no Clint Capella for the Hawks at home. So real interesting how they're kind of utilizing Bam Adebayo or not utilizing Bam Adebayo in the offense here the first 2 playoff games. But when you got a guy like Jimmy Butler, you just give him the ball and get out of his way when he's feeling as hot as he was last night. So still waiting for that Bam Adebayo playoff game. Haven't gotten it yet. I think I bet it the first 2 nights. Didn't cash out either of them, so I'm still waiting on that one to hit. We have Max Strus still in the starting lineup. Love it. 14 points, 4 assists, 3 of 8 from the 3. Exactly. I mean, at minimum, he gives us the same exact production that Duncan Robinson gives us. And I want to say Max Strus is taller, right? We get Max Strus a little bit taller, a little bit more better defense. We get Max Strus at 6'5". Duncan Robinson, he may be 6'5" too. They might be the same height. What do we got, Duncan? Wow, Duncan Robinson 6'7". Wow, so even shorter and still kind of giving us the same offensive and defensive production. So yeah, we still love Max Strus in the starting lineup. Tyler Hero off the bench, 15 points, 3 rebounds. And then we also had Gabe Vincent, 11 points off the bench. Duncan Robinson only played 6 minutes last night. No points, no shots taken in 6 minutes. So once again, Duncan Robinson off the bench in the starting lineup doesn't really move the needle that much. We do like him better off the bench though. So they got it done for the Heat. Kyle Lowry, let's shout out him too. Only 9 points and 2 assists. I mean, it's not like everybody was having great games. Everybody was struggling a little bit besides Jimmy Butler. So they just kept feeding Jimmy Butler, and that's the win for the Heat last night. All right, and then for the Hawks, John Collins playing the 5 in lieu of no Clint Capella, and he had 13 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists. Not bad overall, getting that nice beef down there to help out with Bam Adebayo and the rest of the Heat's bigs. We have Trae Young, 25 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, but 2 of 10 from the 3, not good. And get this, folks, 10 turnovers. 10 turnovers by Trae Young, folks, and this is not the talk of the town. This is not the talk of the day, folks, in the national media. Trae Young's 10 turnovers. I don't think anybody's talked about Trae Young's 10 double-digit turnovers. Folks, if y'all know when Russell Westbrook has 5 turnovers, everybody goes manic. This is Trae Young in a close game. 10 turnovers, yes, and nobody's making a peep out of it. That was not the greatest by Trae Young last night and truly hurt them. It was a close game. Every turnover counts, and when you're having 10 alone, holy moly, sheesh, not good. We had Kevin Huerter. 9 points, 3 of 7 from the 3. DeAndre Hunter, 16 points on 15 shots. The man shot 40%. And then Danilo Gallinari, 2 points, 0 of 4 from the 3, 0 of 6 from the field. Come on, we need a little bit of help here. And everybody was letting Trae Young down. And Trae Young was letting everybody else down with the turnovers. So nobody could really clutch it up here on the road in Miami. Off the bench, we had Bogdanović doing his thing. We always know he's fantastic off the bench. 29 points, led the team in scoring, 5 of 10 from the 3, and he only played 28 minutes off the bench. So can always rely on Bogdanović. And then we had Delon Wright, 9 points, 2 steals, 2 assists, 3 rebounds off the bench to help out as well. Unfortunately, once again, not enough. He get the win by 10, 115-105, but a nice silver lining performance overall by the Hawks. Give them extra confidence heading into Game 3 because that is a must-win Game 3. You cannot be down 3-0 against this Heat team. They will close out. So Heat get the win, 115-105 Hawks. We'll see what they can do in Game 3 at home. Alrighty, next game up here, Timberwolves at the Grizzlies. In this game, wow, the Grizzlies are back. They took that first right hook right to the jaw in the opening minutes of their boxing match, and the Grizzlies took the punch, and you're like, okay, punched the Timberwolves back, and now it's going to be, can the Timberwolves respond to the big punch out? Because the Grizzlies were dominant and really won this game right from the rip. Grizzlies dominate, win 124-96. They get the 28-point win. Our 6.5 that we had with the Timberwolves, not even close. Like right from the rip, it was never covering. I don't think it was ever covering at any point. So Grizzlies are back. They took that big shot, recovered from it, and now the Grizzlies are back on track, and now we're back to having the Grizzlies win this series. The fact that they were able to overcome that sucker punch Game 1 in dominating fashion, that's really all we needed to see by this Grizzlies team. Prove that they can get it done. Prove that the moment in the playoffs isn't going to be too big. Prove that you can overcome. I mean, that was to have the Timberwolves steal Game 1, folks, I mean, that's big time demoralizing, and once again speaks to the leadership on this team, speaks to the coaching on this team, and the coaching on this team was exactly why they won last night. So, 2 days ago when we were talking about Coach of the Year and all that, and seeing that the Grizzlies head coach made the finalist, yeah, definitely got to give him his respect, because he absolutely coached his ass off yesterday, just for winning the game, but also getting his team ready to play this game. So here we go, the Grizzlies last night, Steven Adams, a little bit of a liability out there in Game 1. Not defensively, just a little bit of offensively. Going against Karl Anthony Towns, you can't go out there and put up no shots or only one shot. We have to get some good, even level of big play when you're going against a great big like Karl Anthony Towns or a Joel Embiid or a Giannis, something like that. So Steven Adams, a little bit of liability out there. He picked up 2 early fouls, and he only played 2 minutes, folks. Steven Adams, a big. Oh, he got in the starting lineup. He wasn't injured. He just got into foul trouble early. So the Grizzlies head coach ends up going to Xavier Tillman, the big, and having him kind of be the main big for the entire game. They fed off the momentum. They got out to that hot start because no Steven Adams, and he didn't even play Steven Adams for the rest of the game. He carried that momentum, kept playing that rotational momentum that sprung them to that huge early lead that they held for the rest of the game. So well done, 100% for the, let me get his name up here. I did forget his name. That's why I kept calling him Grizzlies coach. But let me respect him a little bit here. We have the tweet up that mentions his name, so let's get this up quickly. Here we go. Taylor Jenkins, very well done, head coach for the Grizzlies. Let's remember that name, Taylor Jenkins. Fantastic game, fantastic management of that game, and once again, just well done having this team re-buy in, because this team could have folded, folks. I mean, they truly rode momentum all year long, thriving off kind of the media gushing over them, and rightfully so. This is not a knock. Third seed in the Western Conference, very, very good. Winning without Ja Morant, it was all fantastic. But I do think the Grizzlies kind of fed into that a little bit, fed into the national media narrative of them being good. So, they could have floundered here. Game 2, got punched in the mouth. Game 1, everybody's talking about them, buying into their own hype, but no, they rebought in and dominated right off the rip for this game. So Grizzlies back out in front, back dominating, and now it's going to be up for the Timberwolves to respond. Game 3 at home. Can the Grizzlies get it done on the road? Yeah, and I think we might be betting them, and we may only have to swallow like 2 or 3 points on the road, depending on what Vegas puts a spread at. So this could be great value Game 3. We got to wait till Game 3 happens to talk about it. So let's just talk about what happened last night. So here we go. For the Grizzlies, we had Ja Morant, 23 points, 10 assists, 9 rebounds, 1 rebound short from a triple-double performance. He was a plus 24 on the floor. That was the highest for the Grizzlies last night. We had Desmond Bane, 16 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. Like we said, Steven Adams only played 2 minutes, 0 points on 0 shots. Jaren Jackson Jr., 16.7 rebounds to help out as well. And then the bench, folks. Once again, bench production. And man, oh man, we know the Grizzlies are deep. You know, we brought up bench production yesterday on the show, talking about the 76ers and why we're worried about them long haul through the playoff bracket. They've got no bench. Well, look at this Grizzlies bench, folks. If it's Grizzlies 76ers in the finals, I would say there's no way the 76ers can win. Look at this bench, folks. Are y'all ready? These are all the bench performances from last night. Brandon Clark, 13 points, 2 steals, 2 assists, 3 rebounds on 62% shooting. Zaire Williams, 13 points, 1 steal, 1 rebound on 60% shooting. Then we had Kyle Anderson, not a great night, 2 points, 5 rebounds. But it gets better, folks. Tyus Jones, once again, this is still off the bench, folks. We're still going off the bench. Tyus Jones, 10 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds on 50% shooting. Xavier Tillman filling in for Steven Adams in this game. 13 points, 7 rebounds, 85% shooting. And then DeAnthony Melton, 7 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds on 2 of 6 from the 3. Only shot 25% on 8 shots, but still, that's like their 5th scoring option off the bench, folks. I mean, we'll take it. We'll take 7 points at 25% shooting when we're this deep, folks. So, I mean, almost having, quick math, let's just call it 60, minimum 60 points right there, just off the bench, no problem. Folks, we need depth, health in depth, win rings. Obviously, you got to have the starting lineup. Obviously, you got to be good, but health in depth truly help you secure a ring, and the Grizzlies, they got them both, folks. So Grizzlies back out in front of the series. Timberwolves are now going to have to respond. And the Timberwolves last night, the big three let us down. Karl-Anthony Towns only took 7 shots last night. Why was he not more aggressive? We need Karl-Anthony Towns. But once again, speaking to Taylor Jenkins, great mismatch. Karl-Anthony Towns couldn't do anything without Steven Adams. And now that they figure that out, Steven Adams' minutes may get kind of diminished here in the playoffs for this series. We'll maybe throw him back out there in round number 2 to see how he fares against their matchup. But overall, Karl-Anthony Towns able to kind of exploit Steven Adams. They take Steven Adams out. Karl-Anthony Towns can't do anything. So is this truly going to be the main cause for the Timberwolves losing? Karl-Anthony Towns can only perform well against Steven Adams? Well, we'll figure that out, and it will get a lot more clear in Game 3, but we got to watch for that in Game 3. So Karl-Anthony Towns, he had 15 points because he got to the line 8 times, made 7 of them, but only took 7 shots. So Karl-Anthony Towns is going to have to, go to the film room, watch the film, and see how he can beat the bench of this Grizzlies team. And, how we can work against other players besides Steven Adams. So Karl-Anthony Towns has some homework before Game 3. Karl-Anthony Towns, once again, 15 points, 11 rebounds. We had Anthony Edwards. He had 20.6 rebounds, 4 of 10 from the 3, 43% on 16 shots from the field. All right, solid. Definitely could have been a lot better, but he was the leading scorer for the squad, so we can't knock him too much. Then we had D'Angelo Russell, who struggled, 11 points on 2 of 7 from the 3, and he shot 27% on 11 shots. He only also had 4 assists. That's not going to get it done. So the big three struggled last night, and then the bench, it was okay. We had Teron Prince, 12 points, 2 steals, 2 rebounds, and Naz Reid, 12.7 rebounds coming off the bench, but it was not enough. They get blown out by 28, folks. Grizzlies get the win, 124-96. All that momentum back with the Grizzlies, and we'll see them in Game 3. Alrighty, and then the last game of the night. Wow, oh wow. Pelicans at the Suns, and the Pelicans get the win, folks. They tie up the series 1-1, and potentially not good news for Devin Booker, folks. Had to exit this game. Hamstring injury is what they're calling it. I don't think we've gotten anything concrete on Devin Booker. Let me do a live search. What do we got? Anybody talking about Devin Booker? We have any concrete information? Not good, folks. Hamstring potential injury, and the Suns need Devin Booker. He is kind of their number one superstar. He is their scoring threat. When you need a bucket, when you need a score, you go to Devin Booker, and I don't know if the Suns are going to have somebody that can truly replace Devin Booker in that kind of clutch, go-to bucket, consistent scoring category. We know Chris Paul maybe can do it, but once again, he's only 6'1". there's a reason why he doesn't go manic every game throughout the entire year, because he has to save. I mean, we saw it in game number 1, waited to the fourth quarter to bust out the scoring to close out the game. Don't think he can do that for full quarters through a 7-game series. He's going to get locked up. He's a small guy out there. So, Devin Booker, we've got any news? Any news on Devin Booker? I don't know. Doesn't seem like it. All right. Hopefully it's not bad. Hopefully he's still good and this doesn't hobble him at all for games 3, because they definitely need him out there. So, Suns lose 125-114 last night. Need Devin Booker, but let's start here with the Pelicans since they got it done. And let's start with Valanciunas, because we were a little bit wavering on him after game 1. Yeah, he had 25 rebounds, but at the end of the day, DeAndre Ayton was still eating, and they still lost. So yeah, 25 rebounds, it's impressive, it's fun to talk about, but it didn't move the needle for us because it didn't result in a win. But he's back out there in game number 2, 10 points, 13 rebounds, pretty solid defense throughout the entire night, and Jonas Valanciunas kind of back in our good graces here, and back for having this Pelicans a big 3. I know we kind of said they weren't a big 3, or trending towards not being a big 3, because we were very disappointed in Valanciunas game 1, but back in our good graces. This is a big 3 with Brandon Ingram, Valanciunas, and CJ McCollum. So, sorry and apologies go out to Valanciunas for kind of going a little bit overboard on our game 1 takeaway. So we apologize. We reined it in. Valanciunas back in our good graces. Then we had Brandon Ingram, 37 points, 9 assists, 11 rebounds. Yes, 3 of 3 from the 3, 62% on 21 shots, taking over and dominating when he needs to. We know Brandon Ingram can do it. Once again, this is a discussion. This is a debate. Who's the number 1, Brandon Ingram or CJ McCollum? Stop it, mainstream media, for just kind of saying, hey, no debate, CJ McCollum's the one. Give Brandon Ingram his respect. Yes, folks. Well done by Brandon Ingram, taking over the game. A plus 18 on the floor, the highest by the Pelicans. And when they needed a bucket, like Devin Booker is to the Suns, when the Pelicans need a bucket, who can they go to? They can go to CJ McCollum and Brandon Ingram. That's why it is a debate on who's the true number 1. So shout out to Brandon Ingram for that great performance last night. Then we had CJ McCollum, and he played fantastic as well. 23 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds. The man shot 6 of 10 from the 3. Yes. Very well done. And he was a plus 11, the second highest for the night by the Pelicans. Once again, it's a debate. Who's the true number 1? And it's not a meaningful debate. Who cares who's the number 1, because they're both great. But it is a fun debate to have, when you're ordering a big 3 and all that. Big 3s are fun to talk about, folks. I love it. Give me a big 3. I'm loving it, folks. That's why we always look out for a big 3 when we're kind of gauging values of teams and all that. Do you have a big 3, a recognizable big 3? Yes, we may lower the bar a tad. We let a lot more big 3s in than I think the national media does, but hey, give me a big 3, folks. We got to have some resemblance of a big 3, and this Pelicans team is absolutely a big 3 with McCollum, Valanciunas, and Ingram. All right, the role players for the Timberwolves helped out as well. We had Herbert Jones at the 2, 14 points, 3 assists. We'll take it. Off the bench, Larry Nance Jr., 13 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. And Larry Nance Jr., once this man is healthy, this man is good. And Larry Nance Jr., if he can keep up this level of play, he's going to be a huge, great piece producer for this Pelicans bench, and will be a kind of a big reason why this Pelicans team can go deep in the playoffs. Well done to Larry Nance Jr. Then we had Trey Murph last night, 9 points on 7 shots, 1 rebound to help out as well, but it was the main 3 to take over offensively, defensively to get them the win. And then for the Suns last night, we had Chris Paul, back to, classic Chris Paul, 17 points, 14 assists. This is a classic game. You cannot get a more classic game by Chris Paul last night. Devin Booker, 31 points, 7 of 11 from 3. Need him to be at his A game, 100% healthy if the Suns team wants a chance, because I don't believe they have an offensive scorer as well as Devin Booker is. We know he's got Mamba mentality. Everybody always compares Devin Booker to Kobe Bryant. They had a special relationship before Kobe Bryant's unfortunate passing. So that's where that's where kind of the comparisons get drawn from and all that. But I don't know if the Suns have an offensive producer scorer that can fill in for Devin Booker. And this is kind of, one of our narratives that we've been saying for a while here, cross seasons, that Devin Booker is kind of, their only main scorer. Once again, Chris Paul, we saw what he can do in game one, but that's not sustainable. DeAndre Ayton, he can be a little bit of that producer, but that's not the Suns' offense. They don't really center around DeAndre Ayton, and I really think that's a little bit of a misplay. I think we should be getting DeAndre Ayton more involved in this offense, like 25 points every single night. I want to see 25 and 10 out of DeAndre Ayton, but they don't run a lot of pick and roll with Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton to kind of float it up to him and all that. So I just wish DeAndre Ayton would get a little bit more involved in the offense, and it's not him not getting involved, it's the overall coaching scheme, Monty Williams, and then Chris Paul deciding, how to run the offense on the floor. So if Devin Booker is going to be hobbled and banged up, they must kind of focus on DeAndre Ayton being the main focal point of this offense. I mean, DeAndre Ayton had 6 shots last night, folks. That was the main worst from the starters. Mikal Bridges, 11 shots. Jay Crowder, 11 shots. And I like Jay Crowder. Don't get me wrong. I will always go to bat for Jay Crowder. But there's no reason why Jay Crowder should be ever having more shots taken than DeAndre Ayton. There's never a case. I want Jay Crowder taking 4 threes a game. And that's the only shots he takes. 4 threes. That's all you get. You get a limit of 4 3 attempts a game. And that is it. I'm cutting you off. There's no reason why Jay Crowder should ever have double the shots taken than DeAndre Ayton while playing 6 less minutes. Folks. DeAndre Ayton, 33 minutes last night. Jay Crowder, 27 minutes. That should never be the case. Please stop this, Suns. So it's just overall, I don't love their offensive schemes, and I guess that's it, folks. The last few seasons, even going back to last year when they got to the finals, we were always concerned because this Suns team is a Devin Booker injury away from not even being relevant, from not even being competitive. Take Devin Booker off this Suns team. What is this Suns team? 5th, 6th in the West. They're not number 1. They're not 2. They're not top 3. I would guarantee they're not top 3 in the West if they don't have Devin Booker. They don't have that go-to scorer. We like to think Cameron Johnson and Cameron Payne can kind of step up in that role, but every time that they go to step up in that role, they let us down. Cameron Johnson, 1 of 6 from the 3 last night, only 11 points off the bench. Cameron Payne, 0 of 2 from the 3, 50% on 6 shots for only 6 points last night. We had JaVale McGee, the big, thank goodness, some bigs getting great workout here. JaVale McGee, 10 points off the bench last night in 14 minutes. Cameron Johnson had 11 points in 25 minutes, 11 more minutes for only 1 more point. We like to think of them. These are great tier 2 weapons, Cameron Johnson, Cameron Payne, but they cannot fill that number 1 role of a Devin Booker. The Suns need Devin Booker 1 trillion% healthy here, or they will not be able to get back to the finals and win the finals. So Devin Booker's got to be good to go, got to be 100% healthy. And I don't know if we're going to get that from him. And it's not going to be good for the Suns if that's the case. So we all like to think, I know, folks, I see how y'all talk. I like to talk about Cameron Johnson and Cameron Payne. I love seeing Cameron Payne filling for Chris Paul when Chris Paul's out. I love it. But then when we actually need him, we never get any great production by Cameron Johnson and Cameron Payne. So, man, oh man, this is potentially not good by the Suns. Pelicans were able to tie up the series last night 1-1 with the 125-114 win. A little bit of a dominant win. I'm calling it a nice dominant performance by this Pelicans team. 11-point win, winning 125-114. All right, those were all the games last night that we had to break down, and there's just one quick thing I want to talk about here, one quick NBA story. So Kyrie Irving has been fined $50,000, man, oh man, for profane language in his middle finger gestures to fans Sunday in Boston. Now, I don't care. Once again, I don't think he should be fined. It's unfortunate. It's just competition. Once again, all's fair in competition. The fans are trying to get the home court, advantage by getting any reaction possible. Agree or disagree with how they get the reaction. It's a home court advantage. Obviously, everybody's has their own kind of personal line in the sand that they don't cross and all that. But I don't know if we can get mad at fans for, talking shit. So I don't mind the fans. I mean, we already talked about this. We don't care, that the fans were talking shit. We didn't even care that Kyrie Irving was, battling back and all that. I truly do not care. I give all power to Kyrie Irving to fight back with the fans. Absolutely. If you think that's the case, if you think that's the course of action to take, absolutely. I've got no problem with that. Obviously, the league, it's a little lame that they fined them $50,000, but, they do have to keep up appearances. You can't have your players, going around acting in this behavior like this optically. So the NBA does have to kind of send out this fine. So it's lame that they have to send out the fine, but once again, keeping up appearances, they are a business, all that. They have to look good optically, and this does not look good optically for the NBA or the Nets or maybe even some other players out here. So NBA is trying to nip it in the bud quickly because once again, Kyrie Irving is going back to Boston tonight, 7 o'clock. Cannot wait for that game. Ooh, it's gonna be so good. Ooh, folks, I'm telling you, I'm gushing over this game already. So Kyrie Irving being fined $50,000 for all his profanity. Yes, Sunday. So we'll see what happens today, what goes down tonight. It should be entertaining, I would say, at the minimum, and see if Kyrie Irving is still jawing with the fans, going back and forth with the fans, gonna pay another $50,000, throwing $50,000 away like nothing. Hey, you want $50,000 here? Here's $500,000. Here's $500,000, and this should kind of get me through the entire playoffs. Or actually, here's $200,000 because they're gonna get swept. Well, let me knock on that. I can't officially say that. Let me knock on wood on that one. I can't get too caught up here. This is a big showdown, a big battle. Us versus y'all, Celtics versus Nets, scary versus terrifying. Y'all know the deal. So let me not get too ahead of ourselves here, saying, hey, it's only gonna be a 4-0 sweep. So let me knock on wood on that. But at the end of the day, Kyrie Irving fined $50,000 for his gestures, his profanity. All right. Alrighty, now let's move on to what we can bet on today in the NBA. Break down the 3 playoff games tonight. Do a little bit better in the betting department than we did yesterday. Got a little bit humbled yesterday, and that's always good. Always have to be brought down back to earth, be humbled and all that. We've been making a killing in the NBA ever since the playing tournament started, so one little hiccup yesterday. We're ready to move on, get past that, and break it all down. Once again, we have that extra information, learning from our mistakes, that we didn't really weigh these 7-game series, that these are going to be competitive. These are going to be back and forth, and a home team that lost game 1 is probably going to play a lot better in game number 2. So with all the information that we've collected on these teams the entire year, the extra information that we just learned last night, let's get it going and go 3 for 3 tonight betting in the NBA. Sound like a plan? Yes, it does. So here we go. First game up, us versus y'all, folks. Us versus y'all. Nets at the Celtics. Game 2. Hands down the best first round series, and there is no debate. First game lived up to the hype. Kyrie Irving going manic in the fourth quarter. Jason Tatum, superstar, going even more manicer. Final second spin washing off of Kyrie Irving, folks, and I will never let Kyrie Irving live that down. The spin cycle wash. That was our thumbnail for the video that we posted on that game 1 Celtics Nets, and I thought it'd get a lot more views just off that thumbnail alone. I had three images of Kyrie Irving kind of flicking off the fans, and then the big image of Jason Tatum spin cycling off of him for the win, but didn't get as many views as I thought. The classic clickbait with the thumbnail didn't really pan out for me that time, but still like the thumbnail regardless. And Kyrie Irving got spin cycled, and I think that got lost. That got lost in the overall narratives that everybody was talking about in game 1. Everybody's talking about Kyrie Irving being great and all that, talking about still the Nets being scary, okay, but nobody was really talking about that Jason Tatum spin cycled, put that man in the washer. Yes, folks, Jason Tatum said, how much is this? 75 cents? Okay, 75 cents. Spin cycled off of Kyrie Irving and then won the game. So that's a pretty good deal for 75 cents. Absolutely. But here we go. Game 2. Nets at the Celtics. Nets plus 3.5. Celtics minus 4.5. So this spread goes down 1 full point, folks. And Vegas hasn't really been changing up the spreads that much. We did see the Sun spread go from minus 10.5 to minus 9.5. And from game 1 to game 2, this Nets Celtics playing out the same way. 1 point less than that game 1 spread. So, Nets plus 3.5, Celtics minus 3.5 for the Nets. Everybody's going to go, but Ben Simmons, news shock, right? Ben Simmons not ready to go. Classic. Once again, wow, we're still waiting around for Ben Simmons. What's going to be the next goalpost to move? Oh, Ben Simmons will be ready if the Nets can make it out of round 1. Wait for that. That article will come out probably not today. Probably not before game 3 either, because the Nets at home trying to, get back the series and all that. They want to kind of keep Ben Simmons a little bit of a mystery in the Celtics' minds, get that mind game going on. So you probably won't hear about it before today, game 2. You probably won't hear about it before game 3. But if like the Nets win game 3 and it's like 2-1 Celtics at that point, Nets may come out and announce, Ben Simmons will be good to go for round 2 if they make it there. So watch out for that. Probably soon. And then for the Celtics, everybody's good to go as well. Now, we know this is going to be a game of adjustments, a series of adjustments. Absolutely. Both teams have their superstar firepower. Absolutely. We saw how close it was. We saw the stars coming out in game number 1, but it is going to come down to coaching. And folks, who would you rather have as coach? Steve Nash or Ime Udoka, folks? I think that's a home run answer right there. No debate. Home run. Yeah, Ime. Yes, Ime. Yes. As soon as I started to say, who would you rather have, Steve and Nash, everybody's hand should go up and be like, hey, the other guy. Yeah, we'll take the other option. We don't need to know who it is. We're not taking Steve Nash. So Celtics, watch for them to make all the necessary adjustments, which is basically try to lock up Kevin Durant and Kyrie more. I mean, that's really all you have to do in this team. You're not worried about any other Nets option. Yes, Seth Curry is good. Yes, Andre Drummond is good, but they're not going to be the ones taking the shots down the stretch. They're not going to be the ones taking 20 shots a game and all that. So just got to lock up Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant. Once again, Kyrie Irving had to play flawless just to lose by 1. So Kyrie Irving's still going to have to play at this high level. Kevin Durant's going to have to play a lot better. Didn't play well game 1. Kevin Durant's clutch ability, or should we say unclutch ability, probably still coming along. We haven't seen this man be clutch all year long in a meaningful game. So he's got to get back on track. He's got to play great when Kyrie Irving plays great just to be competitive. So we're still taking the Celtics minus 3.5. I think they lock it up defensively. Now, Kevin Durant, we did see him play a little bit of the 5. They did play him a little bit down low in that game number 1, and that is absolutely fantastic. That's what the Nets should be doing more of, using Kevin Durant a little bit more at that 5 position. He can play. He's tall. He can spread the floor as the 5. It's fantastic. Once again, Celtics don't have a big, still relying on Al Horford, and we'll see if the starting lineup changes any for the Celtics team. We saw the starting 5 at the final, like down the stretch in clutch time, that actually won them the game. It was Jason Tatum, Derek White, Al Horford, Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown. I love that starting 5. Get Daniel Tice out of the floor. Keep that man on the bench. I don't even want this man even really coming off the bench. It's unfortunate that he has to force his way off the bench because no Robert Williams. We digress on all that. We are loving the Celtics here. Once again, it's us versus y'all, folks. Us 1, y'all 0. We'll see what changes after game 2. I don't think anything. But, this is the matchup, folks. This is what we've been talking about all year long. This is what y'all have been talking about all year long. We've all dug in. None of us has budged. And, none of us are still going to be continuing to budge. Y'all should be budging. Y'all, after game 1, y'all should have budged. But that's y'all. Y'all aren't budging. Y'all aren't budging when y'all should be budging. Okay. But we got no reason to budge. Why do we got to budge? Celtics won. They're the scarier team. They're fantastic. They're clutcher. They're more clutch than the Nets. Y'all keep telling me Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, so good, so clutch. Well, didn't really pan out in game 1. Obviously got to knock on wood again because we are speaking very, very aggressively here, confidently here. So, Celtics -3.5. Once again, clear your calendars. Everybody must make sure they are in front of a screen. I don't care how you watch it, television, laptop, smartphone, renting out a dying movie theater to watch. I might do that. That was a great idea that popped in my head. $100 to rent out a theater, folks? I mean, like, it's that cheap. You can rent out a theater for $100. They are dying for business. Go out there, give them your business, put the Nets Celtics game on that jumbo screen, and enjoy it, folks. Nice little popcorn, nice little soda, unlimited refill on the soda too. Mine shut that down because of COVID, but if it's back up, unlimited soda, got some popcorn. Y'all, my movie theater's got a Pizza Hut, folks. How crazy is that? A little expensive, not the best, but overall, a nice little pizza, popcorn, unlimited soda, folks, on that big screen for like $100. How are you not going to watch the best playoff series potentially in NBA history? This could go down. This could has the potential to go down, at least for first round. Best playoff series first round in NBA history. Has the potential to live up for that, and you won't spend $100 to watch it at the movie theater? Come on, folks, get serious. Will you get serious about sports, please? Get serious about competition. So Celtics -3.5, folks. I'm loving it. Loving the Celtics here, and let's all watch a masterclass by Ime Udoka. Yes, head coaching masterclass is going to be on display tonight, folks, by head coach of the Celtics and Coach of the Year finalist snub Ime Udoka. Love the Celtics, swallowing 3.5 tonight. All right, and we'll see what is Colin gonna? Does Colin have true believability? And that's what we're talking about by brainwashing, folks. Let's go back to game 1 when and Colin Coward posted a bet that he bought the Nets up to +7.5. All right, that's the brainwashing. If you're so confident on the Nets, the +4.5 should have sufficed in game number 1, Colin. So this is the brainwashing we're talking about. Everybody's so big on the Nets, and the Nets are so good that you have to actively buy more points when they're getting 4.5. I understand, buying down, -7 to like -3. I understand that buying, but buying up +4.5 to +7.5, where's your confidence? Everybody speaks so highly and so aggressively on the Nets, but then here they are buying 3.5 points. 3 points. So, what are people going to be buying the points up to today? Or are you good now? Are you finally good? Did that game number 1 give you enough confidence to truly buy into the Nets, even though you've been, talking like y'all have been truly buying the Nets for the last 2.5, 3 months, making us outraged every single day? That's the brainwashing I'm talking about. You don't see us, we did kind of do that too. We did tell y'all to buy to do that 4-point teaser on game 1 for that Celtics game. Took it from -4 to a pick 'em, and thankfully did because they only won by 1. We digress. We also took it both ways, so, okay? But either way, we're talking about their brainwashing. Don't worry about us brainwashing y'all over here, folks, okay? Our brainwashing is the right brainwashing if we ever decide to brainwash, okay? When they do it, it's egregious, it's disrespectful, and it's wrong, okay, folks? All right? So, we'll see what Colin Coward buys the Nets up to today, and we'll see, all right? Y'all got big believability in the Nets? I don't think so. All right. Here we go. Second game up. We're taking the Celtics -3.5. All right, here we go. 2 more games up. We got 76ers at the Raptors in our first look at a game 3, folks. And this is why I don't really love the 3-game schedule during the week, because now we're getting some still in game 2s while some are playing game 3s, and the uneven schedule. I don't love it, folks. I love the 4 alternating every single day and all that, but we can only get that on the weekends, unfortunately. So here we go. We get our first look at a game 3 here. 76ers at the Raptors. 76ers were able to take care of business games 1 and game 2 at home, really kind of in no problem. So once again, let's see the ins and outs here, because the Raptors were missing some players game 2, and that truly affected them. Once again, this Raptors and 76ers team, it's really only about their starting lineup. None of these teams have the best depth or any reliable, consistent, good depth that is going to make you competitive in the playoffs. So this is starting lineup versus starting lineup. So if either of these teams are having even one out in their starting lineup, we're most likely going to be betting it the other way. But here we go. 76ers on the road, -2.5 still. All right. 76ers -2, Raptors +2. I'm sure we're going to get some outs here for the Raptors if the spread is going to be like this, but let's double check. For the 76ers, Matisse Thybulle is out, but do not get bogged down on that, folks. We've been telling you since game number 1, Matisse Thybulle would have been in the starting lineup for games 1 and 2, but the 76ers knew that he was not going to be able to play in Toronto because I believe he is unvaxxed. That is the reason why he cannot play. He's healthy. He's not sick. He's good to go. He'll be back for game 5, if there is a game 5. So the 76ers were smart here. A good coaching decision by the 76ers. Finally, at some point this season, they have Danny Green in the starting lineups game 1 and 2 because they wanted the consistency, the continuity for game 1, 2, and then 3 when they're on the road. So this is actually, this is not going to hurt the 76ers at all. Yes, they lose a little bit of a bench depth because now we don't have Matisse Thybulle coming off the bench, but they didn't really use him off the bench anyway, even in game 1 or game 1 and game 2. So 76ers, this is really not an out for them. This is still kind of them at full strength here. Do not play into. I'm sure the national media will make a big stink out of this. I think they will. I guess I'm not giving a lot of credit to the national media, but don't get bogged down. They've been planning for this. They knew this was going to happen. This is not an out of the blue out that is going to affect their mentality, their rhythm, their rotations. They've been planning for this, folks. So no Matisse Thybulle for the 76ers. Everybody else good to go. And then for the Raptors, Scotty Barnes is a game time decision. So having him back will definitely help out the Raptors. Raptors at home. I don't believe there's fans in the stands here in Toronto. I think they've been playing in front of an empty gym all year long. I don't think it changes for the playoffs. So an empty gym potentially. Is this one isn't even on television, I don't think. Let me double check here. That would be a real good reason not to put it on television. Is this the NBA TV game? Yeah, NBA TV game. We get the 7 o'clock Celtics Boston on TNT, and then the Bulls Bucks on the doubleheader on TNT. So 76ers Raptors on NBA TV. I believe there's not going to be any fans in the stands. I think that could play into this as well. We know, well, the Raptors will have a little bit of a leg up because they've been playing at home with no fans in the stands the entire year. So they're a little bit used to a little bit of a more emptier gym. 76ers feed off of that energy. At home, we saw that. Joel Embiid dunks over 4 people with the and one. The crowd go crazy. He feeds into it. The energy is there. So 76ers on that front may be a little bit off their mojo a little bit, not being able to feed into the hype of the crowd. Scotty Barnes, we get any other information on NBA Fantasy Labs here? Does not seem so. All right. Really wish we had some concrete information on Scotty Barnes. Doubtful. Ooh, 20 hours ago, doubtful. So game time decision, but NBA Fantasy Lab says doubtful 20 hours ago, and I go with NBA Fantasy Lab. So game time decision, doubtful. Watch out for him not to play here. So, once again, we're taking the 76ers -2. We're going to have to see the Raptors implement the defensive scheme to lock up the 76ers, lock up Joel Embiid and all that. So, until they prove that, now they can definitely prove that. Raptors at home, good to prove that. Nick Nurse, a great coach, absolutely benefiting to prove that. But we're just going to kind of wait. This is a 7-game series. We could take a game or 2 off. Once again, we took the Timberwolves +6.5 because we just wanted to see the Grizzlies get back on track. The Raptors can get back on track, but we're not going to kind of play this game where we're going to guess it's today. Today is going to be the game that they get it going. No. We're going to wait until they prove it. And the Raptors, unfortunately, have not proved it yet. So we're still going to be betting the 76ers until they prove otherwise. So we'll swallow the 2 here with 76ers on the road. Alrighty, and then the last game of the night, Bulls at the Bucks, game 2, and the Bulls were a lot more competitive than I thought they would be in game 1. The Bucks a little bit squandered the lead in the fourth quarter, but the closeout ability kept them to win the game, and this spread hasn't really changed. I think only a half a point drop. Bulls +10, Bucks -10, and I believe it was 10.5 game 1, so this spread isn't changing that much. It's so crazy. The Suns spread changed a full point, and the Suns end up losing, folks. So, watch out for that whole spread thing and all that. So, the fact that this spread's only changing a half a point, what does that tell us? I don't know how we read that, folks. It's just Vegas. They don't, you can get Vegas. There's great value still to be had in the playoffs, I guess, is the overall message of that, I guess. That's how we have to read into it. But here we go. Bulls at the Bucks. Bulls plus 10, Bucks minus 10. For the Bulls, everybody's good to go. And for the Bucks, George Hill is out, but everybody else will be good to go. So basically full strength versus full strength here. Bucks minus 10. They should have covered in game one. I'm not giving any credit to the Bulls for being competitive in game number one. Once again, once they had the lead, they went like 3 minutes without scoring after that. This Bulls team, they haven't beat anybody good all year long. Yes, they cover the 10 in game one. I don't know if it's happening again in game number two. The Bucks a little bit more dominant. I mean, we've seen some teams be more dominant than they were, a la the Grizzlies from game number one to game number two. And I'm going to expect this Bucks team does exactly what the Grizzlies did from game number one to game number two. More aggressive, more dominating, showing, yeah, hey, we are going to crush this team. Yeah, you shouldn't have had any doubts after game one, where there was a little bit of doubts after the Bucks in game one. A little bit of doubts. A lot of people were feeding back into the Bulls a little bit. I think everybody reined it in, but still, a lot of people are back on the Bulls a tad. Not the way to play the series, I don't think. So the Bulls, even when they're good, they flounder the lead. They're like the classic Jazz, but I don't even know if it's going to get that close this game. I think the Bucks come out, utilize their home court advantage. Giannis a little bit more aggressive early on, and the Bulls just have no answer. I mean, a little bit of a demoralizing loss by the Bulls in game number two. They had the lead. Everything was looking good. And then when they had the lead, they blow it. They don't have that number one superstar to take over. DeMar DeRozan's not that guy. He's a great number two. Zach LaVine, once again, he's not that guy either. Great number two, great three. If he was a three, he'd be the best three in the league, potentially. You can make the argument, you can make the debate. But over here, we're going to swallow the 10 here with the Bucks. Didn't pan out in game number one, but I'm feeling the Bucks here in game number two. Based on what the Grizzlies did, yeah, give me the Bucks. I'll swallow the 10 here. So, this is what we got rocking tonight, folks. On another full day of playoff basketball. Celtics minus 3.5 on our us versus y'all bet. We got the 76ers minus 2 and swallowing 10 with the Bucks. All right, loving the value, folks, and I cannot wait. 7 o'clock, folks. Make sure you are in front of a screen. Must watch. This is a must-watch game, folks. I don't know what you want from me. I don't make the rules. This is a must-watch game. If you do not watch this game, you will be arrested. I will call the police. I will make a citizen's arrest, and the police will. You need to just be waiting around for the police to come pick you up, okay? Nets Celtics, 7 o'clock, TNT. Be there. Must watch. Must watch. Alrighty, that is all the NBA we had to cover for today, so now let's shift gears to the NFL, and we may still be able to get to Kenny Pickett, so let's keep our fingers crossed there. But before we get to him, there's some great stories again, back-to-back great stories days. Love the stories that we talked about yesterday, and these stories, just as good. I would say just as good, yes. So, let's see what's happening in the NFL. Once again, every single day, more people are talking. We had voluntary workouts, so more people are available, more people are around to talk, and talking is getting some people into trouble, folks, okay? I think we can, everybody needs to kind of maybe keep their mouths shut. I appreciate y'all for talking, because I love, that's what we do here on the show. We talk, we break down what people are saying, how they're talking, what language they're using. So, if you're going to talk, you better make it good, and some of these people talking today, not making it good, folks. So here we go. Let's start with this first story. And this one just popped up. This is why I want to take care of this one a little bit quickly here, and first and foremost. But here we go. Kevin Stefanski being asked some questions today, and Kevin Stefanski was asked specifically about Mayfield claiming he felt quote-unquote disrespected. And this is what Kevin Stefanski had to say, and this is exactly it, folks. There's nothing more deeper or more personal in it. It's just right here. Quote by Kevin Stefanski saying, quote, "I'm not going to get into the specifics of those types of things. It really is a unique situation, and that's all it is. The Browns were just in a really, really unique situation. They have a chance to go out and get undeniable, proven greatness in Deshaun Watson, folks. I mean, we know what Deshaun Watson is. We all watch him. He's fantastic. He single-handedly tried to overcome tons of dysfunction and still had success himself, where Baker Mayfield took on dysfunction and was not reaching the same level Deshaun Watson was, and that's where it just becomes super unfortunate and a true unique situation. You have this opportunity to go from, I mean, what do we want to classify Baker Mayfield as? I mean, let's just take the most minimum take that we could take on Baker Mayfield. He's inconsistent. I mean, that's putting it the nicest that we can put it. He's a little inconsistent. Yes, I think we can all agree with that. We have not seen consistency by Baker Mayfield. Now, once again, the coaches, the coaching staff, the offensive coordinators, all that has not been able to produce that consistency for Baker Mayfield. But that's exactly what we're talking about. Deshaun Watson had that same exact issue, and he never struggled. We've gotten that great generational, consistent talent already by Deshaun Watson. This is why it's a unique situation. It's not that the Browns didn't like Baker Mayfield. I still think they wanted to rock with Baker Mayfield this year, but a unique situation arose. Hey, we have a true chance, a true shot at getting Deshaun Watson, a generational quarterback. That would have been like getting Tom Brady in his prime. That would have been like getting Aaron Rodgers in his prime. That'd be like getting Patrick Mahomes right now. Of course, you're going to dump whatever quarterback you have, unless it's like Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes. And unfortunately, Baker Mayfield is not an Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, or Patrick Mahomes. So it's not about, Baker Mayfield can feel however he wants, obviously, but I don't think this was meant as disrespect. This was, hey, we have an opportunity here. We can't pass it up. We cannot pass this up. It's unfortunate, Baker. It's like last year with Tua and Deshaun Watson, that whole narrative swirling around all year long. I'm a Dolphins fan, folks, and I love Tua, and it would have been super unfortunate, but at the end of the day, I would have been like, yeah, we have Deshaun Watson. This is a generational quarterback that don't arise that much. And I know Tua can be successful in this league, but at the end of the day, it's Deshaun Watson we're talking about. It's like SpongeBob. We're not talking about this. We're not talking about this. We're talking about this. The circle. Mrs. Puff. We're talking about the circle. The voluptuousness of Mrs. Puff. We're not talking about some square that you can find anywhere. We're talking about that bodacious Mrs. Puff we're talking about. We're talking about this. Yes? So it's just we're talking about Deshaun Watson. That's it. Baker Mayfield, I know it may come off as disrespectful, but at the end of the day, you got to go with the better quarterback. And it's not like close, like it's debatable. Well, it's this, it's this. It's not like a quarterback debate of, who's better. Who can we, I don't even know. Who can we draw from? Who's better? You can go to the debates, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, obviously. I don't think that's a debate. That's why I didn't want to use that example. But it's like two close quarterbacks. Who's better? Sam Darnold or Mason Rudolph? It's like, who cares? They're both trash. It's like, who cares the minuscule differences between Mason Rudolph and Sam Darnold? They're both trash overall. This is, hey, we have a great quarterback and an inconsistent at minimum quarterback. We're going with the proven talent. So Kevin Stefanski saying, hey, this is just a unique situation. It really is a unique situation here. We mean no disrespect by it, anything like that. It's just we have a chance to get a proven great quarterback. We're going to take the chance. Same thing. If the Dolphins brought in Deshaun Watson and threw Tua to the curb, I'd be like, that's just so gosh dang unfortunate. How truly unfortunate, but it's a unique situation to go out and get a proven young, great talent. So, Kevin Stefanski, folks, trying his best not to, make this situation more uncomfortable, more out there in the open, drawing more lines in the sand between the Browns and Baker Mayfield. So, credit to Kevin Stefanski. I think he put it absolutely perfectly. It's just unfortunate. This is just a unique situation. And I really wish he said that as well. This is just unfortunate because they just go together. This is a unique situation, and it's just unfortunate for Baker Mayfield. That's how it is. So, that's Kevin Stefanski today. All right, but let's keep going on here. And this first story up, folks, tells us everything we need to know. The one clickbait quote right here tells us everything we need to know about Matt Nagy and this Bears team. There was no plan, and if there was a plan, it was a shitty plan. So here we go. Bears Justin Fields hopes new coaching staff will, quote, will just tailor the plays to my skill set. Why are we in 2022 still demanding this, folks? This should be a qualification for a head coach. That should be in the interview process. All right, what is your offensive game plan here? All right, show me your offensive game plan. Okay, this is it. All right, are you willing to tailor this offense that you have for your players? And if you say no, you end the interview right there. Okay, you're not going to be hired. You must tailor the offense to your skill set, to your players. Why is this why are we still debating on this? Why are players still having to kick and scream for this to happen? Why are coaches just not doing this in general? I don't get it. Once again, why you need an offensive-minded coach because they know this? Hey, well, most coaches do. Once again, Adam Gase doesn't. He never got the memo that, hey, you should be doing this. Tailoring your playbook to your quarterback, to your weapons offensively, a la Mike McDaniels tailoring the playbook to Deebo Samuel last season. Yes, that's why everybody should be high on the Dolphins. I'm telling you, the Dolphins will win the Super Bowl this season, folks. We've already bet $10,000 on it. We don't need to prove it anymore, okay? The Dolphins will win the Super Bowl this year single-handedly because of Mike McDaniel's genius at the head coaching position, offensive-minded head coaching position. So, what the hell was your plan, Matt Nagy? There was no plan. And if there was a plan, it had nothing to do with tailoring the offense to Justin Fields. So what good of a plan was it at that point? Matt Nagy, you should be ashamed of yourself for getting this man a little bit off, he's a little bit behind the eight ball now because of Matthew Nagy, yes? And now we've got the new Bears head coach who we don't love. We've got Matt Eberflus, who was a defensive guy. So now Justin Fields is going to be clamoring to a defensive head coach about, hey, can you tailor the offense to me? And Matt Eberflus, what is he going to say? Ask the offensive coordinator to do that? If the offensive coordinator says no, I'm sorry, Justin, he's going to do it his way. He's the coach. You got to listen. He's the authority figure. You got to listen to him, right? So this is truly going to prove whether Matt Eberflus is a good coach or not. You must be demanding. You hear your quarterback say this. If your offensive coordinator is not listening, it's up to Matt Eberflus, the head coach, to demand you retool the offensive playbook to Justin Fields. Man, so let's go into this article. Let's see what Justin Fields is saying. See if we get any nuggets of information here. And let's see what this man truly has to say. So here we go. First, lead up to the first quote. Justin Fields enters a pivotal year 2 with a new Chicago Bears coaching staff that already has the young quarterback feeling better about his process. Now, before we go into the quote here, I don't know if it's a pivotal year 2. This is not a make or break year for Justin Fields. He was held back year 1. This is a little bit of I call this a free year for Justin Fields. I don't know if there's even any pressure on Justin Fields. There's pressure on Justin Fields to perform just in the national media sense because they will knock Justin Fields. Absolutely, folks. The media will be ruthless and relentless if Justin Fields struggles this season. But I don't know if it's truly a do or die or even a pivotal year for Justin Fields. Next year, definitely. This year, I think we give him a free pass this year because of his dysfunction year 1. But here we go. First quote by Justin Fields says, quote, last year, my rookie year, I didn't know if I was going to start or not. Didn't know if I was going to play. My mindset right now is completely different than last year, and I'm just excited to get started. So once again, everything Matt Nagy said was a lie. There's a plan. Justin Fields knows the plan. We all know the plan. This is the plan. He's going to play. We've got a plan. We're waiting. He's going to play this year. There's a plan. And Justin Fields saying this right here, my rookie year, I didn't know if I was going to start or not. Well, that means Matt Nagy lied, and I didn't know if I was going to play. Once again, Matt Nagy lied. There was never a plan with Matt Nagy. That was just what he was saying to get the media off of his back. Matt Nagy never wanted to start Justin Fields. Matt Nagy wanted to live and die. He ended up dying, but he wanted to live off of Andy Dalton. He wanted to be like, hey, I took Andy Dalton and made him a winner here. Why do we need Justin Fields? That's exactly what Matt Nagy's intentions were last season, and now we finally have concrete proof here by Justin Fields. He never knew if he was going to start or not, and he also didn't know if he was going to play or not. Does that sound like he was sat down by Matt Nagy and explained this big old plan that he had, this grand arcing plan, like the Marvel comic universe, cinematic universe plan, where we're going to start? When did Iron Man 1 come out, folks? Like 2007? Was it the iPhone, folks? Maybe a little bit later, 2012. But they went from 2010, yes? 2010, 2022, it's still going. Overarching films. I mean, Endgame, holy moly, bringing 10 years into one film, folks. That was supposed to be Matt Nagy's plan. I've got this big, great plan. Everybody knows about it, but I can't talk about it in the media because the plan doesn't exist. So Matt Nagy's a fraud. Who picked up Matt Nagy this season? Is he on the Seahawks coaching staff? Where's Matt Nagy now? Because whoever hired this man, you guys swindled. Was he selling you the plan? Be like, yeah, you saw my time in Chicago. We had that great plan going. And I'm sure Matt Nagy spun it like, it was just the players that couldn't execute the plan. I ran the plan through the top of the line simulations, and the AI that was running the plan, it was like, yeah, this is a genius plan. I've never seen a plan like this. Who came up with this plan? And Matt Nagy rose his hand, and the AI started to bow down to Matt Nagy. That's how great Matt Nagy was selling the plan. So who got swindled here, folks? Who got swindled? Where is Matt Nagy now? Kansas City. Oh, my goodness. The Chiefs got swindled and hired Matt Nagy. Absolutely ridiculous. How did Andy Reid, such a genius guy, get swindled by Matt Nagy? I don't get it. Wow, wow, wow. This could potentially be not good for this. Is this the crumbling? Is this the crumbling of the Chiefs dynasty? You lose Tyreek Hill and you bring in Matt Nagy? I mean, I don't know. That's a good switch. I don't know. That's a good swap. Chiefs fans, I'd be a little bit worried this season, folks, having Matt Nagy influence any of my team, offense, defense, special teams, any, the water boy. I don't even want this man talking to my water boy, because the water cups will not be filled with water. There'd be some grand plan where we're filling like water cups with sand to build motivation. Hey, you're thirsty? Here's this. Oh, now you drank sand? Now you're more thirsty. You want to earn that water? Go out there and get a sack. You ever try to get a sack dehydrated as heck on sand? Not gonna happen. You ever see Aaron Donald chug a cup of sand and then go get a sack? Of course not, because it's a dumb plan. Matt Nagy, stop with these plans. You're going to ruin another team. Stop it. Jeez. All right, so that's great. We got exactly what we needed off of that first quote, but we get more. There's more, folks. How truly trash was Matt Nagy? Do we get even more proof? Let's quickly see. Here we go. Second lead up. The previous coaching staff never seemed to know how to properly mesh field skill set to the offense, which produced a square peg, round hole situation. The second-year signal caller hopes the new staff will fit him better. Once again, there was never a plan. They didn't even know how to utilize him in the offense. So how are you going to plan if you can't even utilize him in the offense and tailor the offense to him? What is your plan entailing then? Please show us, Matt Nagy. Now we are demanding. Last year, obviously you can't say the plan because you're not going to give your plan to all the other coaches and all that so they can game plan and plan off your plan. So Matt Nagy, now that you have no longer affiliated with the Bears, now that you have no control over Justin Fields anymore, I am demanding, Matt Nagy, you release your big plan. Show us your big plan that you had under lock and key, biometric thumbprint, because that's how fraudulent the plan was. Had to get it locked behind biometric security. So now, Matt Nagy, show us the plan. The plan means nothing now because, once again, you are no longer with the Bears. So show us that great plan you had, because I know you didn't take that to your interview with the Chiefs. We know you didn't. You blamed the plan failing on everybody else besides you. That's the only way you could get hired. All right, but here we go. Let's keep going on here, folks. Quote by Justin Fields saying this, quote, I hope that they will just tailor the plays to my skill set, which we're going to do. So just finding out what I do best, what we do best as an offense, what we do best as a team, and run that offense. So yeah, Justin Fields absolutely tailored the offense to a skill set. He says which we're going to do. So hey, that's great as well. Love hearing that. Exactly what we wanted to hear so far. Fantastic. Here we go. Next quote. Let's read the lead up. Teams with new coaches are allotted an additional voluntary minicamp for veterans before the draft, which allows them to get on the field and install new schemes. The Bears kicked off their voluntary minicamp this week under Matt Eberflus. This is actually Matt Eberflus on Justin Fields now. It says, quote, "He's just soaking it in and taking command of the offense. He's done a great job with that so far. I thought he did an excellent job today. He really did. He was in command of the offense. Really every play that I saw. When you're working with 11 guys, there was a mistake here and there by this person or that person, but man, he had a really good command today." So love hearing that. Absolutely. Justin Fields taking command. Absolutely getting it done in every single play. Yes, sir. Go get it done, Justin Fields. Now that he's got the support around him, truly this guy is the limit. So folks, Bears, all right, kind of trending up in my direction. Now we truly know, I mean, we always knew, but now we truly have full information that, hey, this was Matt Nagy holding this team back. Justin Fields can pretty much play. He can be competitive at most, or at minimum right now, I would say game manager, and we'll see if he can increase that role through this season, performing very well. So Justin Fields feeling good. The offense is going to be tailored to him. Everybody knows it. Matt Eberflus, defensive guy, being impressed by him, fantastic, and he's showing that command of the offense. So everything's looking good here in Chicago so far, fantastic, and the Chiefs got absolutely swindled by Matt Nagy. We'll see how that plays out for both sides here. Alrighty, here we go. Next up here, and this is what everybody says when you didn't get it done. Because you didn't get it done, you have to tell yourself something to make yourself feel better, and this is exactly it. And what team is this coming from, folks? The 3-14 Dallas Cowboys, folks. Will y'all just please listen to me on this one? Why do y'all saw the name of the show yesterday, folks? Is this thing on? We talked about the Cowboys. Is this thing on? Are y'all listening? Because it seems like all the Cowboys fans are just not listening to what I'm saying. And we're not saying these things because we're trying to get a reaction, or we hate the Cowboys, or we have a bias for some other team in the NFL. No, we're saying this because this is what is happening. We are outside observers of what is happening, and we just say what overall is happening given all the facts through an unbiased filter. We are outside observers, folks. That's all I am on this show. I am just calling it how I see it, and I see it pretty gosh dang clear, folks. I am clear. I am awake. Okay, folks. We're not biased over here on the show. Please point one time that we were biased on the show. We're biased because we bet $10,000 on the Dolphins to win the Super Bowl. That makes me biased. That makes me biased, folks. Okay, come on, stop it. So here we go. Cowboys, folks. Are y'all ready for this? Another reason why. Do I have to downgrade? Do I have to start downgrading, folks? Because all this news, I know we set the bar at like 3-4, but do I have to downgrade it to 2? Are the Cowboys only going to win 2 games this season, folks? I think so. Do we have to change our official pick to 2 wins here? I'll do it, folks. You think I'm not crazy enough to only, like, folks, like, teams are going to win more than 2 games. I think, didn't the Jaguars win more than 2 games? That's how bad the Cowboys are going to be. They're only going to win 2 games now, folks. 2. I'm downgrading. Not officially. This is just today. I'm seeing how it feels coming out of my mouth. But I'll downgrade them to 2 wins. Folks, I am inches away from doing so. Because once again, we're getting this garbage speak, this garbage news. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Here it is, folks. This is the clickbait quote. Here it is. Cowboys EVP Executive Vice President Stephen Jones says, quote, "I don't think you ever win the Super Bowl in the offseason." You know who says that, folks? People that didn't do anything in the offseason, like the Panthers. The Panthers would say this, folks. Do you want your team to be the Panthers this year? No, you do not. And we're talking about the Panthers, I think, in next story, which is truly comical as well. But I don't think you ever win the Super Bowl in the offseason. Well, I can tell you the Rams won the Super Bowl in the offseason when they got Matthew Stafford. And what happened this season? They won the Super Bowl. So of course, you can win the Super Bowl in the offseason. What are you, crazy? Of course you can. The Rams did it. They got Matthew Stafford in the offseason. They won from that point on. They won. They had the guy. It was over. Game over. We didn't even need to play out this season. The Cowboys, after losing Amari Cooper and some other quarterback, Ced Wilson, and not bringing any big names in, that's why you say that, oh, yeah, everyone's questioning my decision, but I don't think you win the Super Bowl in the offseason. You win the Super Bowl by putting in the work here now. And then once the season starts, you put in the work there. That's when you win the Super Bowl. Stop it. Stop it. You win it now. You put the pieces in place to win it now. The Cowboys have not put any pieces into place, so there's no way I'm going to go out on a limb here, folks. It's not that big of a limb. Because once again, we have this team winning 2 games this year. But the Cowboys, they're not going to win the Super Bowl this year. They did nothing this offseason to win the Super Bowl. No upgrades at all, offensively or defensively. Brought in another coach that's a little shaky on whether he's actually good or not. So now we've got too many cooks in the kitchen for the coaching staff. You brought in a guy to oversee the offensive and defensive side of the ball. What are you doing? We need more hands in this garbage coaching kitchen, folks. What is that? So absolutely nothing, folks, how many times, folks, once again, is this thing on, folks? We don't come out here just willy-nilly be like, oh, the Cowboys are going to be bad. Folks, we have when does the season end? 2 months? 1 month? 2 months. We have 2 full months of information, data, stories that we've collected. We're here every single day. Do y'all not know that we're here every single day? Once again, is this thing on? I'm here every single day, noon Eastern, talking about these Cowboys because they make the news multiple times a week. So they're getting multiple stories every single week. And has there been one thing that we found good, folks? No, of course not. Everything that we have read, said, heard, watched on this Cowboys team has been awful. Do you see the Dolphins, folks? They're making splash after splash every time we hear from them. Wow, super. We bet $10,000 on the Dolphins winning the Super Bowl. We bet $10,000 on the Cowboys winning no more than 10.5 games. They are not the same. One made moves this offseason, one didn't. You can win the Super Bowl in the offseason. And this was the stupidest time to say this because the literal Rams just did it, folks. They got Matthew Stafford in the offseason. They won the Super Bowl this season. You trace it back. Obviously, you still have to play the games. But looking back, now that we have the full information on the full year, we look back. All right, Rams Super Bowl champion. This is the end of the year, folks. We look back. Start of the year, that's when they got their Super Bowl winning quarterback. Oh, now we flash forward. Oh, they won the Super Bowl. Flicks back. Oh, yep, that's when they got him. They won the Super Bowl in the offseason. So what are you talking about? You're only saying this because you did absolutely nothing, and you did worse than nothing. You had actually worse this offseason. And this is only the clickbait quote, folks. So here it is. What else genius is this man saying out here? Yes? Man, oh man, here we go, folks. Let's read the lead up to the first quote. I think we get 2 quotes here, so let's see what other genius, great knowledge this man has to say, yeah? Can't win the Super Bowl. Stupid. That's stupid to say. But here we go. All right, here we go. Cowboys Executive Vice President Stephen Jones noted Tuesday on 105.3 The Fan that the club isn't, quote, done yet in free agency. Okay, well, what else are you going to get? But highlighted that even the future additions, including in next week's draft, wouldn't make or break the team, saying, quote, I don't think you ever win the Super Bowl in the offseason. I think it's a full body of work that you put together over time. I think we'll be a better team. And I think we can take the next step. Why do you think that? Just tell us why you think that. Is there a plan? Do you have a plan in place? We've been swindled by a plan before, okay, with Matt Nagy. Well, we were never swindled by it, but, he thought he swindled everybody. We saw right through Matt Nagy never exposing the plan, that there was no plan. So just tell us then, why do you think your team's going to be better? What have you done to make the team better? You've done nothing. So you're just saying these words. You're just saying words out here. And we're supposed to eat up these words that you're saying? These unsalted, unseasoned words that have no value to them? I'm eating plain noodles of words? And I'm supposed to say this is good? No, of course not. Stop it. Here we go. Next quote. Next lead up. Is this him again? Yes, he did. All right, here we go. Jones added that some of the Cowboys' decisions this offseason were still making up for the lower than projected salary cap the previous 2 seasons due to the, oh my goodness. Now they're saying, oh, well, we are still trying to recover from the low salary cap seasons from the COVID pandemic. This is folks, making excuses. Oh, well, we would have been good, but we just didn't have all that money. Yeah, all the teams didn't have that money, and teams still won. So this is, folks, what else can I say? Literally, what else can I say to y'all to wake y'all up? It's not even that y'all have to 100% agree and get on board with what I'm saying, but it just at least acknowledge, yeah, this is concerning. At minimum, this is starting to be concerning at this point, folks. Stop it with the Cowboys. They are going to be absolutely junk. They're going to be garbage, landfill junk, folks. 2 wins. They're blaming it now on the COVID pandemic for a lower salary cap, folks. This is the excuse now that they're using. We probably could have paid Amari Cooper, but the salary cap the last 2 years were so low. And it extended this year. It went up this year a lot. So what is the excuse now? Living in the past. Oh, the money before. But folks, what is that good spot that you're holding on with this Cowboys team? Well, I need to hear why y'all are buying into this Cowboys team, folks. I need to hear why, because I think y'all are lying on whatever you're going to say, but I just need to hear the reasoning. Let me hear the reasoning why y'all believe the Cowboys are going to be good this year, folks. I need to know the reasoning. But let's see his excuse now, folks. Let's see the excuse now. Here we go. Quote, I wouldn't call the offseason exhausting. It's a challenge. It's work. Now they're saying it's too much work. Oh, my goodness. Folks, they're blaming it on COVID-19. Oh, my goodness. The offseason is so much work. How do we do it? How do they do it? How do people do it? That's your job. This is your job now. Yes, of course it's work. Of course it's a challenge. This is why they hire you, to figure out the challenge. This is not news. Oh, my goodness. Do you know what my position is? Executive Vice President. Oh, my goodness. My challenge is so hard. It's so hard to be good in the offseason. Wow. Folks, this is who y'all are buying into. People that make excuse after excuse. Folks, we've read 2 sentences between the lead up and the quote, and we already have 2 different excuses. Lower salary cap because of COVID-19, that's why we're not good, and the offseason's really hard. Folks, I can't anymore, folks. I cannot anymore with this. I can't anymore with this team overall, folks. I don't even want to read the rest of the article. What more do we have to see, folks? What more do we have to read? What are they going to say that's going to turn us around? There's nothing that they can say. If they say we bring Amari Cooper back and we get Tyreek Hill and we fire Mike McCarthy and we fire Kellen Moore, then maybe we can re-buy into this Cowboys team, folks. I'm so dumbfounded. Folks, I'm in disbelief right now. I literally cannot believe what the hell is going on with this Cowboys team. And the fact that some people think they're good. That's the cherry on top. I'm literally dumbfounded, folks. I can't even finish the rest of the show. Y'all got me in dumbfounded mode, folks. I absolutely cannot believe it. Let's see what we've got to finish this quote. Because there's got to be more, folks. This is a big quote, I think. This big quote. I don't know, but let's keep going, folks. I wouldn't call the offseason exhausting. It's a challenge. It's work. A lot that went into it mainly because of the unique situation of the last 2 years with the pandemic and how it affected the salary cap in terms of not having its natural, if you will, increase each year. You weren't able to project that. You knew that the cap was not going to be naturally going up as you normally build into your contracts. So consequently, we had to really step back and be conservative, if you will, in terms of signing extensions to players. The other thing that played into that was a new coaching staff coming in. Yeah, new garbage coaching staff. I mean, you hired these people. These are not good coaches. Oh my goodness. Final quote. So there were some challenges that aren't normally there that kept us from signing extensions to players we might normally would have. Yeah, you know what else stopped you from signing extensions? Having Jerry Jones waste the money on Ezekiel Elliott. That's why you couldn't keep Amari Cooper. Stop it with the salary cap. You couldn't extend Amari Cooper because you put so much money into Ezekiel Elliott, who's gotten worse every single year. So once again, it all starts with Jerry Jones not able to judge talent, not able to gauge talent. Stop making all the excuses. Oh, it's the salary cap. Oh, it's this. Oh, my goodness. The salary cap was so big, so small. We didn't get our natural increase. Yeah, well, the Rams still were able to pay Matthew Stafford, and they won the ring. I mean, their team still made it work, besides y'all. Folks, let's finish up the final quote here so we can finally be done, because I think I'm done with the Cowboys. I think we have to stop talking about the Cowboys on the show, because everything they say out of their mouth is just an excuse, a lame duck excuse on why they are going to be trash this year. They're telling us they're going to be trash this year, folks. Do you not get this? They're all talking now because they know they're going to be trash this year. They're starting to soften the blow, but y'all are taking that softening of the blow and are kind of putting it through a rose gold color filter to be like, actually, no, they mean they're good. No, this is all meaning that they're good this year. Yeah, the lower salary cap means they're going to play more better this year. Yeah, see, y'all are doing too much, folks. Final quote here, quote, so there were some challenges that aren't normally there that kept us from signing extensions to players we might normally would have, as well as having the challenge to make some tough decisions because the camp didn't necessarily project as high as we would have thought pre-pandemic. So they're still trying to blame the pandemic on why this team is trash. Folks, I'm exhausted with y'all. Folks. Y'all got me exhausted over here. Folks, I just don't know what else I can do for y'all. I don't know what else I can do for y'all, folks. I truly don't. Y'all got me exhausted. This is point number 550, folks. This is not point 1 or just point 2 or even point 10 or even point 50 where we're like, well, yeah, but what about this now? It's like, folks, we're 500 points deep on why this Cowboys team is going to be an absolute mess. I can't say anything else, folks. Is this thing on part 2? Is this thing on finally now, folks? Are y'all finally seeing it? Is this finally waking y'all up? Stop it with the Cowboys, please, already. We're 2 months into the offseason, and y'all are going wild with the Cowboys already. Stop it with the Cowboys. So, I don't think you ever win the Super Bowl in the offseason. After the Rams literally just won the Super Bowl in the offseason, folks. It's crazy. It's crazy. So, that's what we've got, folks. Another day, another Cowboy story on why they are absolute garbage. There it is, folks. Well, let's go ahead and beat another dead horse to death again. Yes, folks, who else have we been talking about lately? Kyler Murray. And once again, what is our message to Kyler Murray? Get the leverage, then negotiate. First, you get the leverage, you put the leverage in negotiation, then you drink all the money. Yes, then you get all the money. Yes, folks, it's follow the song. Follow the song. You put the lime in the coconut, then you drink them both up. You don't do the coconut first. You take the lime, you put it into the coconut. You take the lime, you put it in the coconut, folks, and then you drink them both up. You get the satisfaction on both. Can't do the coconut in the lime. It doesn't work out. You can't negotiate without the leverage. It doesn't work out. You're not going to be drinking it both up if you don't have the leverage before the negotiation, yes? You put the leverage in negotiation, then you get the payday. Folks, it's right there. It's in the song. Yes? Follow the lyrics. It's not that hard. Kyler Murray, once again, not getting the leverage. And there was a chance to get some leverage. It wouldn't be big leverage, but it would have been a nice, good starting point of leverage. But he's not doing it because we get this, folks. Kyler Murray and veteran teammates won't attend Cardinals voluntary workouts. Now, two things we have to talk about here. Kyler Murray aspect and the teammates aspect, and they're both bad. So, once again, no buyability into this Cardinals team this year. Dysfunction already this offseason, folks. Why are we buying into dysfunction in the offseason? Why are we buying into the Cowboys? Why are we buying into the Cardinals? And we shouldn't even be buying that much into the Browns. Like, we have to buy into the Browns because Deshaun Watson's fantastic, but there is still dysfunction. Baker Mayfield's still on that team. It's still dysfunctional at this moment. Can't buy 100% into the Browns. We could buy a nice 80% chunk because Deshaun Watson, that's how great he is. But the other 20%, we can't buy into it right now. Stop with the dysfunction in the offseason, folks, especially this early on. Man, oh man. But let's get back to this here. Let's start with Kyler Murray. He could have gotten leverage. And I know these are voluntary workouts. You know, you can go, you cannot go. They're voluntary. It doesn't really mean nothing. But when you want the contract, if you're going to be demanding a contract, you know, and your first attempt got shut down big bad, they're paying everybody else besides you. They want you to talk. I mean, like this Cardinals team, they've got no worries that you're going to make such a great point that they're forced to pay you. So the Cardinals are in the driver's seat right now, and so far Kyler Murray still doesn't understand that. So I get these are voluntary workouts, but if you showed up, that's where the leverage is. The leverage is not showing up. The leverage is actually showing up to voluntary workouts. Yeah, these are voluntary. I'm the leader. I'm the quarterback. I'm the veteran. I don't have to be here, but I'm here. What's up? I want to be good. I want this team to be good, and it starts here. The first chance that I have to be with the team, I'm going to take that chance because I'm that leader. I'm that guy. I'm going to put in the work. I'm going to be here just with all these other guys as well. I know I'm a veteran. I'm the quarterback, so I'm a little bit placed on a pedestal on the team, but I'm going to be out here with y'all. I'm going to be out here with the young guys. I'm going to be out here with the entire team because I am the team. I am the leader. This is where you get your leverage from. So when they go into negotiations for the contract, be like, yeah, Cliff Kingsbury, he did show up. That was pretty good. Voluntary workouts, he showed up. He's a leader. Yeah, he's showing us the good things. Not showing up doesn't give you leverage. Oh, look who's here. Kyler Murray says he's a leader, but it's not even here on voluntary workouts. And he wants the money? Can't give him that. This is your chance to get the leverage, and he's still not understanding that. You need the leverage for the negotiation. You get the leverage for negotiation, then you get the payday. I mean, folks. Yes? Yes? Y'all peeped how that got better every iteration? Yes, folks? Y'all peeped that? It was right on. That was perfect. That last one was perfect, folks. Give me my credit on that, yes? So, Kyler Murray, listen to the song. It's right there. Damn. So, Kyler Murray not getting his leverage that, he's crying for. I want the money. Well, you got to get the leverage first. Man's not getting the leverage. Second tier, what the hell? No, I'm going to go this, folks. I'm going to say the word. Because this is how... Once again, is this thing on? What the fuck did we just talk about yesterday, folks? Here we go. These are like the closing 6 minutes of the show, folks. We're going to get graphic in our words, so here it is, folks. What the fuck did we just talk about yesterday, folks? Literally, what the fuck did we just talk about? AJ Green, Kyler Murray not having that communication. They bring AJ Green back, so they're going to be running it back between their relationship, quarterback-wide receiver relationship again. What the hell did we just read yesterday, folks? What the fuck did we just read yesterday? AJ Green being like, yeah, we can improve our chemistry. We can improve our vocality with each other. We can talk a little bit more with each other, get on the same page a little bit more, communicate. That's the word I was looking for. Communicate a lot better with each other. AJ Green said, hey, I have to take that step too, but Kyler Murray could also take that step too of increasing our communication so we're all on the same page, so we have success, so we can win the ring. Once again, Super Bowls are won in the offseason when everybody's on the same page. In the voluntary workouts, getting everybody together as soon as possible, that wins rings. Continuity, consistency, camaraderie, folks. It all wins the ring in the offseason. You can win the ring. You can win the ring in the offseason, folks. Man, y'all got me going crazy now. It's so crazy. Like, folks, do you not see the teams that are winning the rings? The Rams, they just won the ring. Let's try to do what they did. Secure the investment in the offseason. Make sure everybody's on the same page in the offseason so we can make it work in the regular season. Folks, it's like we're saying, folks, we get new information, we get new data every single day. But what doesn't change, folks? The points, the narratives. We change the narratives based on what's happening. But these narratives have stayed the same because they're doing the same things that make these teams bad. Oh, folks, I am fired up now. I am fired up. We're getting the same ridiculousness over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Jeez, is anybody, it's so clear to me. Why is it so clear to me? Why is it so clear to me and not clear to all these other people out here? I don't get it, folks. Man, Kyler Murray, y'all were just talking about AJ Green at minimum, was just talking about y'all's communication, and you don't make a plan to go to voluntary workouts? Put in the work. Show the leadership. Get the leverage. Put it all together so it can work. Y'all are actively now hindering your success, hindering the team's progress. And I know they're voluntary. I get it. But you know why they're voluntary, folks? You want to know why they're just voluntary? Because of the collective bargaining agreement. It's not like the coaches are like, yeah, you can come, not come. We don't care. We don't care. The coaches want the players here. It's the players. It's the veterans that negotiated because they have leverage. The whole point, Kyler Murray, get leverage. We digress. But they had leverage. They're like, hey, we're not going. Wait, why do we need to go? I'm not going to no freaking workouts this early in the season. No. So they had to make it voluntary. They won that collective bargaining. This is still a business at the end of the day, folks. The Players Association with the NFL, two sides. Players Association, folks. They negotiate the contracts for all the players. Or the rules, the guidelines, I should say. For all the teams, for all the players. Players Association, they made this voluntary workouts. So the players got to get it done, folks. Kyler Murray, AJ Green, get in the fucking lab. AJ Green's a veteran, folks. You should know this by now. You still want to just wait till the last second to get it all put together? Well, you did that last season. How'd that work out for you? Oh, yeah, you couldn't catch the game-winning ball against Green Bay that set this entire thing into motion. It started with AJ Green, and they still are not correcting it here. What more do you want? Kyler Murray, now you got me going villain mode. Kyler Murray doesn't deserve to get paid. He should be cut from this team. If I was Cliff Kingsbury, I'd move off of Kyler Murray, and AJ Green, I'd tear up his contract. I know we just signed him, but I tear it up right now. Done with Kyler Murray and the Cardinals, and done with the Cowboys. I'm truly done, folks. We've seen more than enough, folks. I am done with them. We won't be talking about them. I'm done because they're not gonna upset us. These teams and these players will not hold this weight of upsetting us every day on the show, getting in our way of watching Kenny Pickett. We can't watch Kenny Pickett now. We got to get out of here because we're spending 50 minutes a day reiterating the same things because nobody wants to admit that they maybe were a little wrong. Cowboys can't admit, yeah, we've made maybe not the best signing decisions. Yeah, getting rid of Amari Cooper wasn't the best. Kyler Murray, yeah, getting no leverage and not doing these voluntary workouts, yeah, I was a little in the wrong there. Nobody can ever admit when they were wrong. Nobody can ever admit when they made a mistake. So we're done trying, folks. We're done trying over here. We're done, folks. I'm done. This is the last you'll ever hear from me. I'm done, folks. What the hell, folks? So, Kyler Murray, teammates, AJ Green not attending voluntary workouts. All right, yep, that's how you get better. And then we didn't even get to the best story of the day, folks. Ben McAdoo, the Panthers offensive coordinator, calling Sam Darnold the starter, and then 30 seconds later in the same press conference saying, yeah, I shouldn't have said that. I can't really say that. So Jimmy Garoppolo's not going to the Panthers, folks. Will y'all stop it with that? He's got Ben McAdoo. He's not going to Ben McAdoo and Matt Rule. Stop it with these teams, folks. I'm begging y'all. Y'all gotta stop it. I'm begging y'all to stop, folks. I am begging y'all to stop it with the Cowboys, with the Cardinals, and with the Panthers. Please stop it on all those three teams, folks. Y'all are speaking nonsense at this point. There's nothing to back up anything y'all are saying. Truly. It's enough. We've got to put it to rest. Alrighty, folks, we got to get out of here. And after this, folks, I'm just watching game 1 of the Celtics Nets series to get in a better mood to carry me into game 2. And that's that. I cannot look at any NFL information, news stories at all for the rest of the day. Y'all got me mad. Y'all got me upset now. Y'all happy? You happy? Damn y'all. All right, we got to get out of here, folks. I got to get out of here. I got to blow off some steam because I'm about to scream into this mic, folks. What do we get? Ben Simmons progress. Oh, here we go. Just exactly what we fucking needed to end the show. Ben Simmons news. Shall we indulge in this, folks? Should we see what the new goalpost on Ben Simmons is, folks? Yes, this is how we cap off this wild show that had us going manic the last half hour. Here we go, folks. What do we got on Benny Simmons? Yes, here we go. Breaking news. Here it is. Breaking news, based on Ben Simmons' progress and practices this week, Game 4 versus Boston on Monday is looming as a realistic target for his Brooklyn debut. Game 3 hasn't been fully ruled out yet. What did we just fucking say when we were talking about this earlier in the show, folks? Expect Ben Simmons to potentially be brought up by Game 4. After they get beat at home by Game 3, need a little bit of uplifting material, so Ben Simmons is gonna come back Game 4, be the savior. All right, that's the new goalpost. Game 4, later in the series, 10-15 minutes, Game 4, okay, when you're down 3-0, Game 4, that's all gonna come and work out, okay. Alrighty, folks, we're out of here. I'm out of here. Done for today. Maybe even done for tomorrow. Y'all may not see me tomorrow, folks. Y'all may not see me tomorrow because y'all got me going, all right? This is on y'all now. This is on y'all. These are your consequences, yes? May not be here tomorrow. I'll see. Goodbye, folks. Don't even have a good one. I'm annoyed with y'all, all right? Don't have a good one, okay? Y'all see what it's come to? Y'all don't have a good one. I may see you tomorrow.